Hell to the yeah. Well, in that case, thank you guys for joining me for our 29th episode of Jetpack Swords, our super duper cool gaming-esque podcast. Next week is numero 30, which will probably mean so I found out recently, one of my friends, he was just like, yeah, I've like listened to all the episodes. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I'm gonna try and get him on next week. I think he was just like going to like North Carolina or something. So like, well, I need to double check with him. But so hopefully he will be here next week as our guest for our 30th episode, and that will be swiggity 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 sweet. Until then, it's us this week, and let's keep this medium-ish length is my target. Anyways, I'm Greg. I'm joined by Packy and James.
Hello.
And so I wanted to try a new segment on the show occasionally, so how we sort of do the, what we've been playing. And you all both fell down on the job, and that's okay. That's okay. That just means that the title of Dankest Meme of the Week goes to me. And to be clear, this is not a meme I made. The idea of this pretend segment is basically just like, if there was a meme that any of us has seen since the last time we talked and did a podcast, save it and share it and, blah, 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 blah. And this spawned because, I literally remembered a meme from a week ago to like send to Susie. And I was like, this would be fun to just like, I don't know. Anyways, so I'm going to share my screen with you all, and then I'll put the link to the meme in the description of the podcast.
Hope our audio listeners will enjoy hearing an audio description of a meme.
It's my favorite.
To be fair, it's very simple. It's not like it's complicated. Can you all see it?
No.
Yeah, I'm not understanding though. What is this vacuuming?
I don't see it.
Heard of that before. I see it.
Okay. James, can you not?
No.
Well, fuck you, James. I'll send you a link. And then you'll look at it there. Anyways, it's very simple. It's the one hand meme, like bad thing, good thing, 2-panel, and it says gaming on a Saturday is the bad thing. It's like no. And then the good thing is like the A, gaming on a Saturday after cleaning and vacuuming. And the title
oh my God,
that
got 45,000 upvotes.
It's because it just hit different, Packy.
It doesn't.
Seriously. It does.
What are you talking about?
Does.
Am I the only one who that is so nothing to me?
I swear to God, there was something like I said, this happened because last week, literally Saturday, we're like, okay, let's do some chores. It's Saturday morning. Let's knock out some chores real quick. And I gotta say, did the chores, vacuum, did all this stuff, went and took a shower, and then sat down to play video games. And fuck, dude, that feeling of sitting down to play video games after you did that, oh, it was so good. It felt so much better than just getting right at it. And because this was 2 weeks ago, right? So it's 11 days ago at this point. And like I said, literally went and found this from the previous week, just because it felt good. I was just like, yeah, dude, it just hit different. Anyways, it's my meme of the week. Is it just hit different when you game on a Saturday after cleaning and vacuuming? So that's what I got.
Any meme at all, so I can rank that second.
No, so you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose anyways. It's clearly the winner. You can't beat this. I don't know. I feel like you yourself have told me in the past, I do things early to get them out of the way so that then I can go sit there and play video games all day or something. I don't fucking know.
I just do that. So I think I'm just an old, or not old curmudgeon, but more like I just established those habits. Yeah, it's very regular. I just clean to some extent pretty much every single day. To keep things tidy. So it's never
good.
I never have to do, I guess I'll recall when I was much messier, particularly in college, when you take a big day to get everything really, really clean after it's a little shithole and you barely walk around. But I think I've just changed over time. I mean, I think that everybody, admittedly just making fun of it just because it was it seemed to me such a simpler concept that got so massively
Exactly.
uploaded.
No, that's And I think that's why it's so massively up there. It's just like a simple, like good, straightforward to the point concept. I don't know. That also encourages good habits, right? Like, you should clean your house. Like that's a thing you should do.
Well, it's just
Don't live
it
in
was more that it was
squalor.
on dank memes. It almost seemed like something that would be like on
Okay, yeah,
wholesome
that's
memes or
true.
something like
I
that.
don't know why it was on
Yeah,
dank
it's
memes. That
just
doesn't
the
make any
wrong
sense. But it's fucking great, and I
I like
loved it,
for
and
something
I
that's
really
like
resonated
it
with
just
it.
hit different. I expect like the dank meme to be like when you woke up and hit the edible, and then you go to your fridge like a half hour
Oh
later,
yeah,
and you got that one last slice of cold pizza that you pull out, and turns out it was your roommate's, but you eat it anyway. Like that's dank meme. Like just something as super duper niche and kind of degenerate like that. It was just very surprising to me, but I'm glad that people do that. I feel similarly. I feel that sentiment, but I feel it more of like I did something really, really physically intensive earlier that day, and then I showered, and then I like sit down in something comfy and play video games.
that's exact right. It's the like you have to like clean enough and like it sounds fucking stupid, but like clean hard enough that like you get sweaty, and then then shower, and then after being done with all of that, you have nothing sitting over your head. You feel clean and refreshed from the shower, and it just fucking feels great. Like I was like, hell yeah, it was great. Anyways, that was my meme of the week, which is really meme of the 2 weeks because we didn't do this, last week. But anyways, so since we didn't do this last week, what do you guys want to talk about, if anything? If you guys don't have anything, there's some interesting news that I kind of want to touch on, because Epic be doing the Epic thing,
I also
they
had
be
an idea for a new segment that I'll throw out there. Similar to
yeah.
meme of the week, we'll call it hate of the week, where we take an opportunity to describe something in video games that has incensed us. Really, I just want to take an opportunity to talk about Coral Island
Go.
because it,
Oh,
it was
Aw, what
I was
happened with Coral Island? That game looks good.
I did not. I just had a really bad moment with it where, and
It
admittedly,
looks
this is
so
all
pleasant.
it just it's just soulless. I don't I like
Oh no.
I think it's
Oh,
I'm sure there's so many people who like the game, and I think it's a very
You want to
easy.
give
I like the
a
art
quick
style. I have it on my
rundown,
wish
by the
list.
way, for
Sure,
anyone who doesn't?
if you've ever played Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, it is a three-dimensional version of those games.
I say it
It's
has
just
some
a
Animal Crossing in there too.
yeah, it
Wait,
takes a
so just
lot some
Disney
mechanics.
Dreamlight Valley? Just go play Disney Dreamlight Valley.
No. It's much more. I liked what is it, Stardew Valley,
Yeah.
and I just wanted a different flavor of that. Like I can't just. It's clearly trying to take from other games and ideas, but like it is, and really Stardew Valley was just copying Harvest. Having played the original Game Boy version of Harvest Moon, literally everyone has copied the map and the central mechanics of that game one for one, and then just added to it.
Why
And
wouldn't
so,
you?
yeah, exactly right. Like because they, for whatever reason, well, no, it was a Nintendo versus the game company that originally made it issue, but they essentially took one of the best ideas for games in the 90s and just threw it in the fucking dirt for no reason at all. And so other people have picked it up since then and actually done a really good job with it. But yeah, it's just another game, and really very clearly Stardew Valley. I'm not sure if they're still drawing on Harvest Moon, but somebody who saw what Stardew Valley was doing was like, we will just copy that. I mean, exactly copying the central mechanics and then adding on, like changing the flavor of it just a little bit instead of JoJo Mart and it like Stardew's a very, very relaxed, like everything from the music to the atmosphere to the art is very like getting in touch with being a rural person and kind of like shunning anything civilized and corporate, or really technological mostly at all. And I think that Coral Island is just pivoting that a little bit from like being very let's be in tune with rural culture versus urban culture to let's be very environmental versus not. And so the big bad in this one is a oil drilling company, and the thing that they add to the basic formula is a mechanic to go clear the ocean, which amounts to swinging your scythe as you walk very, very slowly on the ocean floor in a way that is not entertaining. And it's just that I think like Stardew Valley adds all this charm into the little aspects of the interactions, and Coral Island felt like it checked a bunch of boxes. But because it's that Harvest Moon formula, I played it for a pretty long time because it just does the Skinner box pretty well. It's set up very, very nicely. And but I just hit this point where I was like, it was the chickens. It was really like the chickens are not only not well implemented and in a way that's annoying, but they lack a lot of charm. as opposed to like the Stardew Valley chickens that are like, they're clucking and they're very, very cute. And they're also very easy to work with.
Sorry, I just. It's gonna go on. Sorry, it's just
But
the
in
way
the
you're
end,
just describing it. It's just getting me.
yeah, but I literally, right, like it's just this very simple, silly game. But usually, like I played so much Stardew Valley. Like I was like most people who are obsessed with that game, like you end up like a multi-millionaire, and like there's just nothing left in the game. You have wrung it dry of any content it has. Whereas in this game, yeah, it's like partway through the chickens, and I literally just stopped. Like it was one of the first times I just like took my hands off the controller and were like, what the fuck am I doing? And closed it, and I then went on to I've not played games. That was about a week and a half ago. I've not played games since then.
Lord.
It literally killed my
Oh.
love and joy for video
Oh
games.
my god.
I was like, I can't do this. So maybe other people like it, but yeah, I think
Oh, I just like the art style of the characters.
it just doesn't have. Maybe I don't know. Didn't seem
I
to
haven't
have that
bought
much
it, so I mean, it
charm.
doesn't matter. It's just on my wish list.
Oh, it's on Game Pass right now. You can go try it.
Oh yeah,
That's how I ran into it.
I probably
That's
won't.
all my games now. Yeah, I can't really say I recommend it, but it is available.
Yeah, it's terrible. It killed my entire passion for this industry, and I haven't touched a game in a week and a half. Oh, but you can go play it right now.
I mean, also,
Oh my
I've said the same
God.
about like Call of Duty and stuff like that. I definitely know. I'm sure there are many people out there who would enjoy it, but I do think less of you for doing so. But that's fine.
Yeah, very fair. You kept saying you played Coral Island and then gave up and you just now hate your life.
Yeah,
You
that's what I'm
said I
saying.
would never ever play ESO after I bought it, Elder Scrolls Online. And get fucked! I started it! I started ESO! I made a thief, and I'm a Khajiit thief, and it's
How did you
actually
say that
pretty
word?
good.
How did you say the name of the race?
Khajiit? I don't
it's,
know.
It's Khajiit.
I like
Wow.
Jeet.
Man, what you
I
said
like-
was fantasy
I like-
racist.
I like more. Jesus Christ.
I am
But
genuinely
yeah,
shocked
no,
to play it.
it's so they changed the starting experience from when we tried it a year or two ago,
They
and
changed it up
honest
a
to
couple times, I
God,
feel like.
Tried it so much longer than a year or two ago.
it was probably 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, at this point. And honestly, the new starting experience is so much better. Like, it's just not terrible. Like, it doesn't help that so for one, like Elder Scrolls has a very specific art style and
Well,
atmosphere and
ESO
stuff.
definitely does for sure.
What? Yeah, that's true. And so specifically, I remember when we started it initially, like the starting zone we were in was just like it was this dark, ugly place.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally don't know how to describe it better than that. It was dark. It didn't look good, which I know that like visually, like yes, graphics are not the thing that matters, but like it's still just I don't know, like it just the old starting experience that I remember.
I think you
sucked.
used to start because the whole game is originally about one of the. For anybody who doesn't know Elder Scrolls, it's about one of the evil gods called the Daedra, and the one specifically that game's about is the evil god of domination and control. And so, if I remember correctly, the original starting zone was you were in his realm, and it was all dark and stormy, and
I think
chains
so,
were everywhere. And
because
it's not that anymore. It's not that same starting area from the last time me and
Yeah, so
Jacob.
now you get a pick. So they have a very short prologue, which is kind of this light. I don't know. It's well lit, right? It doesn't look dark and depressing and like shit, quite frankly. And it's very short, and then you basically end up in this portal room thingy, and then you can pick which zone you want to actually then go off and do. And it's so much better.
It
and
really is.
Honest to God, that alone got me past where I had previously faltered. And I think I'm I don't know, I'm still not super high level. I think I'm maybe level 20 or something, which is still really low. But actually having a super good time, and I've grown to appreciate the combat somewhat, mainly the rolling. If they didn't have rolling, that combat would suck booty still. But I do love me a battle roll, and I will love it in every game, always and forever. and it is very satisfying to have the enemies do like one of my complaints also about WoW these days is, particularly in Dragonflight, is the AoE mechanics that these fucking bosses do are so not clear where they are, right? Like, it'll just be
Really?
some fucking storm cloud. It'll be some like fucking storm clouds or some shit. And you'll be like, I have no idea where this starts and ends, right? And then in ESO, it is a circle, right? So like they'll do like the like wisp, like for example, they'll do like a wispy black thing on the ground, right? But then they will have a circle outlining the wispy black thing, making it very clear where it starts and ends.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were saying ESO was like that. And I was shocked because, yeah, that's a very WoW specific problem. Modern MMOs mostly have gotten away from that.
Yeah, and so between them doing that, which like I said, I'm getting frustrated with them, wow, not doing that, right? And then like so the clear outline circle, and then like the dodge roll out of it is just, it's super satisfying. Like it's very satisfying. Big. I've actually, yeah, quite enjoyed it. Also it's just like I forgot what it was like to start and play an MMO from scratch and like not have everything, which is both good and bad, right? Like, hey, it's kind of nice to just like actually be doing the quests in the zone. And like we've talked about, Elder Scrolls Online is one of, if not the only, like fully voice acted MMORPG. Like every single quest giver example, is voice acted, which is great. Um, Admittedly, half the time I still end up just skipping the text. But that's not true. I read it, and then I read it faster than the voice actor reads it, and so then I skip to the next part. But still, having them read the first half to me is very nice, and I appreciate it. I will say some parts, though, of not, starting from scratch, they do suck. And I need to just, like, beg people to give me, like, 10,000 gold or something, because, like, storage in that game is fucking stupid. And I think it's universally accepted to be stupid, and, like, because it's just a way to funnel you into ESO Online Plus or whatever. ESO Plus, because it like doubles your bank storage and it gives you like a whole new bag specifically for crafting mats, which is the thing that takes up like 9 million bag slots, which is kind of fucking lame. And yeah, like I said, literally just want to like, can I have some money, please? Some money, please. I need to buy some bags.
There's the
Which it's
really
not bags, it's just storage space.
pretty MMO. I think it's Black Desert something. Also does that famously, and is also reviled for it's just
so
not a popular
shitty
way to monetize.
Yeah, and then I texted James about this, and one of the other things that like, it's not like they were not upfront about it. I guess I don't. I mean, like, I guess I just wasn't paying enough attention. But like, I don't know. I still like ran into this, and it like kind of just like burned me, and I was a little pissed. Is so every year, and everyone who plays this game is gonna be like, yeah, duh, no shit, that's the way it works. But like, the point is, from the perspective of someone who doesn't play the game, and they go into the store and they see the complete collection, quote unquote, or whatever, this really sucks. So every year they do an expansion, and the expansion is a big zone with a bunch of quests, and that's cool. Probably some raids and shit. Anyways. And then they also do three, I'm going to call them patches, because that's what they fucking are. And like, that's what they are in WoW, right? Like, you have your major expansion, and then you have major patches, right? And so they'll do three major DLCs in a year as well. And so here's the thing that burned me. Is so I thought when I went to the store and bought ESO, the complete collection, I was buying the complete collection. Anyways, turns out that is only buying every expansion, but not the DLCs that came out in that, in those things. Which again, this is just kind of their way of pushing you to ESO Plus, because if you do the subscription, you get all of the like sub DLCs, major patches and stuff. And the reason it particularly burnt me is because like I wanted to go do the Thieves Guild stuff, right? Because I'm a thief. So I was like, oh, well, let me go to the Thieves Guild. Let me unlock this skill tree. And then, because they also have like Thieves Guild troves out in the world. And so it kind of sucks every time you run into one of those. And it's like, oh, you have to have the skill chain. So I'm like, okay, let me go through that. Let me go figure out how to do that. And I go see it's like, oh, no, this is a paid DLC that's separate from the thing. And so like that entire experience of just like thinking I had everything and so excited to jump in and being able to like go do the individual things that like seemed interesting to me, and then finding out, oh, half the shit that seems interesting is still behind another paywall was it just sucked. That's the best thing to describe. Like, it just sucked, right? Like, it is what it is. And like, now that I know that's how they operate, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I compare it to WoW and I'm like, yeah, WoW is just, you have to do the subscription, right? It's basically the same thing. They just like give you technically a little bit of options. Because you can choose to buy the DLCs individually if you want, right? So like, I could choose to just buy this single thing, for example, just the Thieves Guild. But anyways, yeah, start ESO. I'm enjoying it. That part sucks, but otherwise I am enjoying it, and it's pretty fun. And I look forward to continuing to play it. Although
Every
WoW is
MMO
getting a minor patch, so I'm probably gonna have to go back to WoW.
seems pretty significant for their minor patches too. But I was going to say the only MMO I've heard people be happy with the free-to-play experience has been Final Fantasy XIV. All the others, most people are like to some varying degree upset with, but Final Fantasy XIV, they give so much of the game away in the free experience.
You know how last time we talked, I asked about, have you guys ever gone to a convention, type thing? And James, you mentioned you had gone to Lexington Comic Con.
It's this weekend.
You going in this year?
Nope, I work.
That's fair.
My weekend is right now.
Yeah, that's fair. But so the reason I'm bringing this up again is you mentioned Final Fantasy 14. So I have a friend who plays Final Fantasy 14, and apparently they're having some big Final Fantasy 14 convention in Las Vegas. And he was saying he was lucky enough. The way they did it was they did a raffle of tickets, he said. And so you signed up, and if you got drawn, you could choose. I think you then had a week to purchase a ticket for yourself and up to one other person. And so he was saying he and his friend group, I think it was like 6 people or so, like managed to actually get all 6 tickets. And then on top of that, they managed to get tickets to like, there's apparently some bands that I think like very specifically play Final Fantasy 14 soundtrack music, or I'm probably misremembering this, but anyways, I just thought it was cool, and I look forward to hearing about when he gets back from, I think this is in like June or July or something at this point, I can't remember. And it's in Vegas, and so it'll be cool to hear about his experience at the Final Fantasy 14 convention thingy there. And maybe I'll twist his arm and have him come on and talk about it. I don't know. We'll see. So James, what about you? What have you?
Like,
yeah.
those kind of games especially just cater to like the cosplay crowd, like very, very heavily, similar to Overwatch, where like I'm sure if you go, like a bunch of people, not like everybody's going to be wearing a cosplay, but I have no doubt will be several very, very impressive ones.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Like I'm sure it'll be very cool. So, James, what have you been up to?
I don't even know, honestly. What's in my most recent on Steam that I've played? I got some of they're not old to me, but the older Command & Conquer games on sale in the Steam sale, because I love Command & Conquer, and there's not a lot of them left. Still played a little bit of Destiny, but not really, because, What I have been trying to do is, so The Last of Us TV show finished up, and I'm a huge fan of that whole franchise, obviously, the show and the games. And me and my girlfriend were trying to play The Last of Us 2 on my PS5, which it has a patch to like run like 60 FPS and everything on the PS5. And I haven't been able to because it crashes every like 5 minutes. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So that was the biggest thing. If we're talking about things that we hated just in general, is I don't know why I can't play Last of Us 2 on my PS5.
I take it you've uninstalled and reinstalled. That's the first thing I would do.
3 times. And I also was originally using my like cloud save data to do New Game Plus, because I've beaten it before, like when it originally came out, of course. And I thought maybe that was the issue, was the cloud data, but I did like a completely clean install, completely new save data, didn't even import cloud data at all, and it still crashes. So I only have like a couple things left to try, and if that doesn't work, then I don't know what to do. So
that's some shit. James, you were talking about how you have terrible luck. And
I literally have the worst luck with technology. It's not even.
It's impressive. Like, holy
and I don't
shit.
do anything. Like, I do all the things you're supposed to. I update everything on time. I try not to let things overheat. Like, I try to give things airflow. I don't do the best about like doing internal dusting of like my computer and stuff. But like, other than that, like, I try to maintain things, and they always fuck up somehow. Every single time.
Hates you. Dude, that really sucks, though. Like, holy shit. Like,
I know, we were
hope
really
you're
looking
able
forward
to
to
get
it,
to
because,
play.
like, I love Last of Us 2. I've only done one. I did my original playthrough, and that's it, because that's a very heavy game, so I only, like, did my original playthrough, and then my girlfriend's never seen it, and we just finished the show and just finished our playthrough of the first game of, like, the remake, part
nice.
1.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, we were, super in the mood to do it and, like, ready to go, and it won't run. So, it's really stupid.
You truly might be cursed.
I don't know. I know I've played stuff since the last time we did this, but I literally could not tell you what I've been doing.
It's been 2 weeks. Normally you play most of all of us. So
I saw Jacob. I mean, he came back to town, so I guess that's what I did in the meantime.
Hello.
Saw him and his wife and their wonderful dogs, and yeah.
Doggies. I love doggies. So is someone gonna make Sifu? Is that what it's called? Am I thinking of that? Stray. No, Stray. I don't know why the fuck I said Sifu. Isn't Sifu a fighting game?
Sifu is
a combat roguelike.
Yeah, combat roguelike. Jacob really likes it.
Okay, but that's not what I meant. I'm just retarded. It's just they were both at the Game Awards, I think, and they both start with an S. Is someone gonna make Stray for doggies? Come on, where's my Stray for doggies?
You should do it. There was a game when I was a kid that I played, and I don't even know who developed it. No, Nintendogs was good, but no, there was a game called, I think it was called Dog's Life. And
oh yeah, Bug's Life for dogs.
It was a third-person, open-world, like, I guess, action game, but not. I don't know, it was all about, like, you had to use, like, your dog nose to track scents and, like, find hidden objects, and you were, like, exploring a city. I think you were trying to find your family, like, they had left you at, like, the old house when they moved somehow. Which, like, now looking back, that's, like, fucked up. But you were trying to find your family, so you, like, as a dog, adventure out, and, like, you do, like, you, like, think of, like, kid game quests where it's like, oh, look at you, you're gonna do this real quick. And they're not, like, complicated, but I just remember being, like, really young and playing that on, like, the PS2. So, yeah, let's get a remake of that, and that'll be Greg's dog Stray game.
There are various dog sims I just looked up, which I literally
oh my
god,
Dog Simulator, it's a 2003 action-adventure game by Frontier. Wait, Frontier? The Frontier? Oh, it is! Oh my god. Frontier are the ones who made, like, Elite Dangerous and Roller Coaster Tycoon and Planet Coaster and the new Jurassic World games and Planet Zoo. They made this dog life game.
Honestly, that kind of sounds in their wheelhouse, right? Like, that doesn't actually sound that surprising now that you say it.
What the fuck? It got a decent IGN gave it a 7 out of 10. I remember it being bad.
To be fair, I feel like 7 out of 10 for IGN is pretty bad.
I was just saying, IGN 7
It's 2003 IGN before they were, like, complete sellouts.
I think they've always been soft on giving games, like, 2s or 3s, just because they work with so many, like, especially a Frontier game, right? Like, they work since the very beginning with studios.
It's wild.
It's pretty funny. There are other dog sim games, but none of them look good.
It's like every animal sim game.
Yeah, like I want like a good one. I want like a Stray quality dog sim.
And that's why
game.
people
Cool.
like we're talking about Stray like it was this revolutionary new concept. It was like no. They just did it with really, really good graphics, and that's why people care this time.
Like,
and a cat.
Goat Simulator exists. Goat Simulators it's very different. It's very different than Goat Simulator.
But that's it. Like Goat Simulator is like a parody of the other animal simulator games because there's been enough to the point where you could parody it.
Yeah, so I look forward to Stray. I don't know what it would be called. Can't think of a name. Meh.
Stray still works.
True. Stray 2, the dog version. Stray 2, A Dog's Life. Stray 2, A Dog's Life.
Stray 2, this time louder.
No. Stray 2, Bark Edition. No, it's just Stray. Bark Edition or Wolf Edition, Dog. I don't know. Anyways, yeah.
Or Untitled Doggo Game.
Hell yeah, Untitled Doggo Game. You know what, James? I think I will make it though. Just like I will make this segue into talking about this super cool piece of news of the Unreal Fortnite editor.
Oh, I think it's about the other big news that came out today.
Counter-Strike 2? We can talk about Counter-Strike 2.
Valve making a new game for the first time.
What the fuck? Hey, it's only 2. They can count to 2. They are capable of counting to 2. They just can't count to 3, okay?
I hope we get Counter-Strike Alex also.
Jesus.
That was good.
That was good.
It's coming out in VR.
Although, as
20
we've
years.
established, none of us play VR games.
No,
None of us
if I
play
did though, I would
Counter-Strike
definitely
either.
play Half-Life Alex. I've heard it's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's fair. But yeah,
I might
Counter-Strike
try.
2 looks fantastic.
It looks
like,
crazy.
Hey,
Also,
visually,
the
it
smoke
visually
videos?
looks fantastic. Oh
Smoke
my god,
stuff's
dissipating
wild.
smoke. It's so cool. Like the grenade, so they showed two things mainly with the smoke. I mean, they probably showed more, but the two things I caught was they threw a grenade and the grenade exploded and then it, poofed the smoke away. But what I thought was cooler was the bullet hole through the smoke.
Mhm.
I was like, damn, that looks
And
fucking
it's
sick.
volumetric, so it fills the space. So it's also like more tactical in that if you throw a smoke into like a tight corridor, instead of it just expanding out into other hallways through the walls, it actually expands like to fill the space, so it
it's a
fills more
3D
of the
object
corridor.
now, which is really cool.
Yeah. It also shows you kind of expect, especially in a follow-up to a game like that, for them to kind of just try to copy other popular shooters or really try to like make a 2, right? Like make it worthy of 2. But if you look at it, it's just like a slight graphical upgrade with a few like better lighting, cleaner graphics, a little cartoonier. I saw people like smoother, I think is probably the right word. And then little things like I think smokes will not be the only mechanical change that will make things both more realistic and more dynamic.
I'm sure. It'll be
It's
good.
what
I'm
they
excited
wanted.
though for sure.
I think everybody
It
wanted
looks
it to be
cool.
like a mild update.
Yeah.
I look
Of all
forward
things
to playing
Counter-Strike,
it for like an
definitely.
hour.
Yeah. Like it's already so clearly the player base likes it as it is now, right? Like it's been out forever and it still has some of the most players.
Which kind of begs the question of why now, right? Like it's been, I guess actually
Valorant.
before this announcement.
Valorant. It's just
So
Valorant.
that's part of it, but I think also
No,
they
it's all
want
of
to. Well, so I don't know because you hear the stories about like at Valve engineers can choose to work on whatever the fuck they want, which is why you get random ass shit from Valve, right? Because it's like theoretically they don't have, and this is probably old and not true anymore, right? But like at one point in time, it was like there was no one setting direction and priorities at Valve. It was if you work there, you can work on whatever you want. That's the end of the story, right? And so like therefore Valorant is in that world. Again, who knows if that's true? Who knows if it was true then? Who knows if it's true now, right? But like if it were true, then like Valorant doesn't make sense as a motivation for that, unless it was literally just like people at Valve played Valorant and was like, this is fun, I want to go work on Counter-Strike, which I guess actually, yeah, probably
Exactly.
could have
Like
totally
I
happened.
think it's both.
Yeah. Okay.
Like not even I
believe
played
it.
Valorant and
Either
I thought
way.
it was fun. It's like I played Valorant and it saw like, oh, here's some cool new ideas that like obviously we're not going to steal the whole hero shooter aspect of it, but like there's some cool new ways to approach the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
For the love of God, hope the one thing they take from Valorant is that when you shoot somebody, especially in the head, the game gives you some indication that you did that. It literally, yeah, at least when I've played Counter-Strike, I have to look in the bottom right to confirm that I killed somebody if like they were particularly far away.
Yeah, sometimes it is really hard to tell for sure.
Just because
Hit
everybody's
markers, man. I'm a modern basic bitch, and I love me some hit markers. Like I don't care. I love me some hit
Valorant's
markers.
perfected it too. Like Valorant, as someone who doesn't particularly like the game, like it makes the little noise, and then the noise escalates if you get repeated kills. And if you get like a multi-kill into the end of the round, it like makes this. It's like dun 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 dun. Dun. Like that's how it just flows very very well. Like they did a fantastic job with it.
Yeah, I think I suspect one of the other motivations around it is it's kind of just like the natural testing ground for the Source 2 engine, right? Like in the same way that like Fortnite is at this point just Epic's playground for Unreal Engine, right? Which speaking of Fortnite and Unreal Engine, did you guys see that they announced
We're not
Unreal
segueing this.
Engine
No,
for
no,
Fortnite?
we're going somewhere else.
It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, the last
I think
one
it's fucking cool though. Oh my god! Like, have you guys seen the demo things that they made
watched
in it?
part of
They
the
look
demo, and I
phenomenal.
didn't
I have not.
understand.
I
only saw the one. I saw like the one section of the video that I saw was like they showed a coded section where it was like, hey, it tracks player position. They showed literally a block of code that was like essentially like when player is here, spawn guards it like around the player, They're like, this is this new innovative idea that and it like showed them walking through a scenario. And I was like, I definitely have seen games do this before. Hey, you watch the enemies pop in sometimes because they write it this way. Where I'm confused. So maybe you saw
Um,
something that I didn't.
no, so I was talking about the final, like, not code part of the demos, right? Like the finished product demos they had, and I think they're available now even actually. And they look phenomenal, right? Because like their whole point is like it doesn't have to look like Fortnite is was kind of the point of some of those demos.
Hmm.
But for those who don't know, yeah, Epic announced Unreal Engine editor thingy for Fortnite. It looks pretty cool. So it only runs on PC, but one of the cool things is they have this like live real time aspect to it. And so like someone on console can join your like live edit session on PC using like the Unreal Engine editor for Fortnite. And it looks
Oh, that's
super
really
cool.
nice. Oh, it's like Forge.
Like it's yeah, exactly. But fucking Unreal Engine. Like it looks incredible. Like it truly looks incredible, and I'm excited to see what comes out of it. Also, this is like some it's not like big brain plays by Epic here, but like there's some medium level brain plays here of like what this is going to succeed in doing is A, it's going to generate content for Fortnite, which is going to be cool. But B, it's really targeting that group of people who are like probably young, obviously, right? And who are like, I'm interested in making a game, but it's a little overwhelming and it's
Hmm.
hard. And so you start in Fortnite creative, normal creative, right? And you're like, oh, this is cool. And you're like, oh, what's this other thing? Okay, let me go use Unreal Engine Editor for Fortnite. And because it's still Fortnite, you get all of the basics done for you, right? Like, yeah, you have the asset store and stuff normally, which is great. But imagine if you had a bunch of free assets in the asset store that are good because Epic makes billions of dollars off them every year, right? And then, so you start in creative and then you move over to Unreal Engine, for Fortnite, and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. I can do this, right? And then you go to college for game design, and then you're like, well, I already know how to use Unreal Engine for Fortnite, so let me just use Unreal Engine. And so, like, this is just laying the groundwork for, you know, that's probably teenagers, right? Like 16 to 18, right? Who get started in this now and then end up using Unreal Engine professionally down the line. And that's it's like, kind of this medium brain play of like, it's targeting that group of people who are like, I want to make a game, but I find it intimidating, and it's brilliant, and I'm so excited to see what comes out of this, both in the short term and in the long term, right? Because like I said, like I think this probably will have like some really positive long term impacts, like 5+ year impacts in terms of like introducing a whole new group of people to creating games,
Hmm.
which is going to be fantastic, right? Because something like Stray 2 Doggo Edition could be created probably in, the Unreal Engine editor for Fortnite, which is fucking awesome. And so I'm super excited to see what comes out of it.
I don't think it'll be
Eh,
full games, but I do think it'll be. I think the pipeline you've got makes sense to me. I think it's going to push more and more future game devs towards, hey, I've dabbled in Unreal Engine, so I might as well just go back to that and use it in a more independent way.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't work without normal Fortnite creative too, right? Like they have
Hmm.
all three pieces now. They have the full blown, really basic, simple Fortnite creative mode. They have this combined Fortnite Unreal Engine editor, and then they just have full blown Unreal Engine. And it's like that perfect pipeline to move people through to get them comfortable making games. And it's super exciting. It's super exciting. And I want to go, like I said, they have a couple of demos. Also, just Unreal Engine 5 looks phenomenal. That was the other thing they showed. And just like Unreal Engine 5 looks so good. Like and again, it's obviously all demoware. That's not true. It's not demoware. It's literally live in Fortnite. Like the cyberpunky update for Fortnite looks fucking stupidly good. Like And the fact that it's, the battle royale with 100 people and like all this stuff going on and it looks that phenomenal. It's just like, and again, a lot of it's art style, but like a lot of it's also just like, it is a very technically impressive engine, apparently. So very cool looking stuff. And I thought it was very interesting. And on that note, unless you all have anything else, we can probably call it there. Alrighty. Catch us next time. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, adios.